Jai Hind children. Today we are going to discuss the second part of Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. In the last class we have discussed about the first part, wherein we discussed about the inaugural ceremony which took place in the amphitheatre formed by the Union Buildings in Pretoria. Dated 10th May 1994. Lots of dignitaries and world leaders were present during the ceremony, and our Nelson Mandela was sworn in as the president. While addressing the gathering, he thanked everyone and he said that never again his land will experience the oppression of one by another. This is a short summary of that we learned during the last class. Now we move on to the second part of the lesson. So you have your textbooks also along with you and write the meanings along with the video. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings. A few moments later, that means after Mandela's address, he says that they all lifted their eyes in awe. Awe means a feeling of reverential respect mixed with wonder. So with wonder, with surprise, they all looked up at the spectacular array. Spectacular means an impressive display, colorful display of South African jets, helicopters and troop carriers. Okay, what they did, they rode in perfect formation. Rode means moved at high speed, making a loud prolonged sound. So they were moving very fast in perfect formation over the Union buildings. Now, it was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Now, Mandela says that it was not just a display of pinpoint precision. Here, pinpoint precision means absolutely accurate. It was not just a movement of military force, but it's a demonstration of military's loyalty to democracy. Loyalty means what? Faithfulness. That means a quality of being loyal to someone. So they were showing the loyalty to democracy, to the newly elected government. Now, only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Now Mandela says that moments before, just before some moments, what happened? The highest generals, that means people with high rank and all, both from the African Defence Force and the police force, what they did, they saluted him and pledged their loyalty. They have shown their faithfulness. Now listen, bedecked with, their chest bedecked with ribbons and medals. Bedecked means decorated actually. From days gone by is an idiom. The meaning of it is dates or times in the past. Okay, times in the past. That means they were decorated with the medals they got in the past. Okay, with those medals they saluted him. Now look at the next line. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Now Mandela was conscious at that moment with the fact that years before, if it was years before, they would not have saluted him but they might have arrested him. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue and gold of the new South African flag. Chevron means a V-shaped line, a stripe of V-shape. That means after this what happened? There were Impala jets. These are the Impala jets of South Africa, different kinds of jets. Okay, Impala jets and all. So these jets moved. And what they left a smoke trail of black, red, green and gold that resembled the South African flag. This is the flag of South Africa. Now look at the next paragraph. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems and the vision of white singing Nkosi Sikelel e Africa and black singing Die Stem, the old anthem of the Republic. So after this precision, what happened actually? The national anthems were played. Both the national anthems, the national anthem of the white people as well as the national anthem of the black people were sung there. Now, look at the next line. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. So Mandela says that both the groups were not known by the lyrics of this anthem. Okay, now what will happen? Both the groups will learn or by heart these lyrics. On the day of the inauguration, I was overwhelmed with a sense of history. On the day of inauguration, the same day, 10th May 1994, Nelson Mandela was overwhelmed with a sense of history. Overwhelmed means touched by or moved with a sense of history. He was thinking about the history. In the first decade of the 20th century, a few years after the bitter Anglo-Boer War and before my own birth, the white-skinned peoples of South Africa patched up their differences and erected a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned peoples of their own land. Nelson Mandela says that in the first decade of the 20th century, that means 1901 to 1910, a few years after the war, Anglo-Boer War, and before his birth, he was born in the year 1918. So before his birth, the white-skinned people patched up, isn't it? So people of South Africa patched up means to deal with, to fix the problems in relationships. They dealt with their differences. They started talking about their differences and they erected a system. Erected means created. They created or they established a system of racial domination against the dark-skinned people of their own land. So here the system refers to the apartheid. We have already discussed about apartheid. So that racial discrimination. Now, the structure they created formed the basis of one of the harshest, most inhuman societies the world has ever known. The structure, that apartheid that they had created, that formed the basis of one of the harshest. So that was the harshest thing that had ever happened in this world. Okay. Now, in the last decade of the 20th century and my own 8th decade as a man, that system had been overturned forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all peoples regardless of the color of their skin. Mandela says that during the last decade of the 20th century and his 18th, this system, that apartheid system, had been overturned forever. Overturned means reversed, isn't it? Reversed forever or replaced, abolished forever and replaced by one that recognized the rights and freedoms of all the people. Now everyone got freedom regardless of their color of their skin, even black and white. That day had come about through the unimaginable sacrifices of thousands of my people whose suffering and courage can never be counted or repaid. Nelson Mandela says that these all happened because of the sacrifices of thousands of people who suffered a lot. And he says that their courage can never be counted, calculated, or we can't repay also. Now, I felt that day, as I have on so many other days, that I was simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before me. He felt that day that the same thing that he had felt earlier days also, that he was simply the sum of the total of all those African patriots who had fought for the freedom of this country. That long and noble line ended and now began again with me. I was pained that I was not able to thank them and that they were not able to see what their sacrifices had wrought. I was pained. Here, pain means upset. Now, he is so upset that he was not able to thank them. Unfortunately, he is not able to because they didn't live to see the result of their courage. Here, wrought means achieved. Now, look at the next paragraph. The policy of apartheid created a deep and lasting wound in my country and my people. So he is telling that apartheid, the policy created a deep and lasting wound both in all the people in his country. All of us will spend many years, if not generations, recovering from that profound hurt. Profound means deep and strong. Now he is telling that everyone has to wait for generations to get rid of this pain, the deep pain that they had because of this apartheid. But the decades of oppression and brutality had another unintended effect, and that was it produced Oliver Tambo, the Walter Sisulu, the Chief Luthulus, the Yusuf Daddus, the Bram Fishers, Robert Sobukwas of our time. Here the author says that because of this oppression and the brutality that they had to suffer, they got these kinds of famous leaders, men of such extraordinary courage, wisdom and generosity that their like may never be known again. No people will be born like this. Perhaps it requires such depths of oppression to create such heights of character. My country is rich in the minerals and gems that lie beneath its soil, but I have always known that its greatest wealth is its people, finer and truer than the purest diamonds. Now Mandela says that it requires depth of oppression to create or to form these kinds of leaders. Now he says that his land is rich in minerals and gems, but the greatest wealth that he had is his people, the finer and the truer men than the purest diamonds. It is from these comrades that Mandela had learned the meaning of courage. Time and time again, I have seen men and women risk and give their lives for an idea. Time and time, repeatedly, over and over again, Mandela had seen lots of men and women risk their lives for the idea. What is the idea here? To get the freedom. Okay, now I have seen men stand up to attack and torture without breaking, showing a strength and resilience that defies the imagination. Here the author says that when the white people had tortured and attacked the blacks, those courageous black men, they stood up against them and fought till their death. They showed their strength and resilience. Resilience means what? The ability to deal with hardships. So they showed their strength and resilience that defies. Defies means challenges. Defies means what? Challenges. Challenges the imagination. Now read the next lines. I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. See, very, very important lines. Here Mandela says that he had learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the victory over it. He says that the brave man is not a person who doesn't feel afraid, but the one who conquers that fear. Very, very important lines. Please underline those lines. Okay, now we move on to the last paragraph. See, no one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. For love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. So here Mandela says that no man hates another person because of his color or his background or his religion. Actually, people have to learn to hate. And the author says that if they can learn to hate, then they can be taught to love also. Why? Because love comes more naturally to the human heart than the hatred. Now read the next lines. Even in the grimmest times in prison, when my comrades and I were pushed to our limits, I would see a glimmer of humanity in one of the gods, perhaps just for a second, but it was enough to reassure me and keep me going. So even during the harsh and serious times, here grimmest means very serious and harsh time in the prison. So when Mandela and his comrades were there in the prison and when they were tortured by the white people, here pushed to our limits means pushed to the last point in our ability to bear pain. So very difficult, isn't it? That situation, even during that situation, what happened? For just for a second, what he had seen a faint sign of, here glimmer means a faint sign of humanity in one of the gods. So he was able to see the humanity. Understood? So actually he says that, Mandela says that particular thing, that faint sign of humanity that he had seen in that god was enough to encourage him. Here, reassure means encourage. Now, read the last line. Man's goodness is a flame that can be hidden but never extinguished. The last line means that every man has some goodness in their hearts, which is constant. Sometimes it gets hidden when selfishness or hatred stop it. But author says that the goodness that we have in our mind could never be totally removed from our hearts. So that's the end of the second part. Hope you have understood it. Read the lesson several times. Thank you.